Hey, Brent Messmer here with Technical Taekwondo. Today's video we are going to be going through the first in the Taegyuk series. We're going through Taegyuk Jahn. Taegyuk Jahn has 18 steps. The meaning of the form is heaven and light. We're going to be going through this the traditional way. We're not doing the sport Poomsae way, because if you guys have watched any of my other videos, you've seen and we've shown you guys how ineffective those stances are. So we are going to be going through this the traditional way. We're going to go through at the end of this video, and I will show you guys the stances, the blocks, and the strikes, how they should be performed correctly. So let's go ahead and get started. Taegyuk Jahn. Turn to the left. Low block out of walking stance. Step with the right foot. Middle punch. Walking stance. Turn to the right. Walking stance. Low block. Step forward. Middle punch. Look to the left. Step into front stance. Low block. Reverse punch. Move your back foot up. Turning to the right. Left hand inner middle block. Extend the left hand as you step. Step forward, right hand punch. Look to the left, point your left hand, lift your right hand high, inner middle block with the right. Extend as you step, step forward and punch. Look to the right, front stance, low block, reverse punch. Move your back foot up and turning to the left, high block with the left. Front kick, land forward walking stance, middle punch. Turning to the right, facing towards the front or the mirrors if you're in class. Turning to the right, high block with the right, front kick with the left, straight punch. Step with the left foot into front stance, low block. Step forward, front stance, punch, hip, and key out. Come on. Turn to the left, low block. Step forward, middle punch. Turn, low block. Step forward, middle punch. Look to the left, front stance, low block. Reverse punch. Left hand lifts, step up towards the front. Moving towards the front, you're going to move that back foot up. Inner middle block. Punch. Turning to the right, lift that right hand nice and high. Inner middle block. Step with the right, punch with the left. Front stance, low block, reverse punch. Back foot or left foot slides up. High block, kick right, punch right. Still in walking stance. Turn to the right, high block, kick left, punch left. Step left. Low block, straight punch, hip. Turning to the left, cross the hands, low block. Step forward, straight punch. Push off your front foot. Push off so you can make that turn easier. Low block. Step forward, punch. Okay. So make sure that when you make this step, that the left foot is turning to the left. Cross the hands, big step for a front stance, reverse punch. Okay. From here, easiest thing to do first is to bring the back foot up, facing the direction you want to go, and then lift that left hand high and complete your block. Okay? When I go from an inner middle block to a punch, I extend the hand, then I step, and then I throw the middle punch. Looking to the left, I turn, lift that right hand this time, swing at inner middle block, extend it forward, step and punch. Again, looking to the right. If you want a little bit more technical way how to turn, I'm actually going to bring my feet together a little bit, okay, and then come down low block. Reverse punch. Back foot slides up, similar to what we did the first time. This time we're executing a high block. When I complete the kick, make sure I rechamber fully, land comes straight down, and then slide it out into your natural stance. Okay? So when I'm doing my front kick, get your balance, don't be all over the place. So when I do my front kick, rechamber, come straight down for balance, and then step where you want to go. Remember the end, I block left, I kick left, and I'm going to turn and step left. So all three actions are left foot. And then finish, straight punch here. Taegyuk Jahn. This is one of the most common mistakes I see beginners doing when they're first learning Taegyuk Jahn. They step with the wrong foot. So this is a mistake that we want to avoid. I do not want to take my back leg and go that way. I'm not stepping here. Okay? However you get there, that makes no sense. If I'm going left, move the foot that makes the most sense. The left foot's in the way of the right foot. Move the one that's in the way. So when you're turning to the left, pick up your left foot and step big. Okay? So make sure that when you make this step, that the left foot is turning to the left. Cross the hands, big step for a front stance. So when you're throwing that front kick, make sure you re-chamber, come back to your center, come back to your balance point before stepping out into your stance. It's going to give you a lot more control. As yellow belts, when you guys are doing this form, it's very easy to forget to re-chamber and kind of flop forward off balance. So make sure when you guys are kicking, re-chamber nice and tight, bring your feet together so you have balance, and then step into whatever stance that you need to be in. For Taegyuk Jahn, you'll be going into walking stance. When you guys get to Taegyuk Jahn, you'll have to do it in front stance. But the same concept applies. So when I practice my front kicks, practice coming back to your center so you're not all off balance. Land forward where you want to go. So for Taegyuk Jahn, you basically have a low block, you have the intermittent block, and you have the high block that is new. So we're going to go ahead and go through those real quick and explain how we do those. We'll start off with the natural stance. There are 4 front stances in Taegyuk Jahn, so I'll go over how we do our front stances as well. You can also watch the video on how we do our stances if you want a better explanation as that. I'll kind of give a highlight video here. So on natural stance, we explain our natural stances. It's not like you're walking nice and easy, relaxed. It's kind of an aggressive walk or an angry walk, or a purpose-driven walk. So if I'm walking with purpose, that's my natural stance. Okay, so it's a little bit more aggressive. I said feet are shoulder width apart. 51% of the weight is on the front leg, so it's a little bit heavy on the front leg. So I'm a little bit bend to that front knee here. Okay? Weight is not on the back leg. It's a little bit on the front leg, a little bit heavy. From heel to toe is about 6 to 8 inches as far as the length of it. So we're shoulder width apart, and the heel to toe is about 6 to 8 inches. So that's the width and the length of the natural stance. Again, 51% of the weight is on the front leg, so the front leg is the dominant leg on this because there is a little bit of a bend to it. When I'm doing a low block, okay, I'm going to cross my hands. My what we call our negative hand, which is the hand that's going to be driving to the hip, is palm facing outwards, and my blocking hand is closest to the chest, palm facing inwards. So when I turn, my negative hand is coming up straight back to my hip, almost like I'm doing a elbow strike to someone behind me. At the same time, I'm bringing my low block across my belly, almost brushing my belly as I come through and down. Okay? Turning the hips into it, again leaning a little bit, transferring that weight onto that front leg. So 50-50 the weight, and then driving forward. Okay? When I'm doing this motion, get here where you can see a little bit closer. So when I'm doing the low block, my fist is not flat, it's got a slight angle to it, and my elbow has a slight bend to it. So the arm is not locked out straight, it does have a slight bend to it, and I turn my wrist in slightly. Shoulders are what we call half facing, so side facing would be here, full facing would be forwards. A low block is half facing, so my shoulder is over my back hip. Okay? So turning the hips and coming down here. Okay? On the very first motion of Taegyuk Jahn, as well as, well, Taegyuk Jahn and Taegyuk Jahn, I'm at that Junbi position. I see my opponent coming in. Low block is meant to stop a front kick. So I'm seeing that guy come in, he's trying to kick me. I turn and drive and time it all together where I use that turn to power that low block. And that turning from here is way stronger than stepping. So play with that a little bit. I believe that you should take time to strike either a heavy bag or a makawari, or just have someone to hold a pad for you so you can feel the energy and play with the differences between what I'm showing you on these blocks and the way that they're traditionally done. So just that slight little angle of the wrist, instead of 90 degrees, just turn it slightly in, maybe 20, 30 degrees, and a little bit bend to the arm. It's more naturally how you hold your arms as you're just standing. That's the angle of impact. Okay? So we're using the muscles in the arm, the bones in the arm to line up to use that structure that we're talking about. So turning, there's my low block as I'm coming through. When I'm doing the front stance, because I'm coming down for the middle section, when I come down here, low block punch. Yeah, we're right foot forward for our punch. When I bring my feet together to step into it, okay, I want to press that out and lock that back knee, extending my stance, shoulder and a quarter to shoulder and a half wide. So I don't want to go double, but I want my feet wider than shoulder width. So put my right foot here. Shoulder width would be here. This is kind of what the sport Poomsae garbage is doing. They're really, really narrow. They don't have the power. By cutting their stances down to these sport Poomsae stances, if that's the game that you want to play, go ahead, but you're never going to understand how to have power in your blocks and your strikes because those stances take 99% of it away. It's garbage. By stepping out into a wide, strong front stance, it is much stronger. My front knee, I want the shin vertical, and I want it pressed slightly to the outside this way. Back leg is locked straight. If someone stood on the back leg, it's locked. It would not bend. Okay? So coming at the camera, same thing. I don't want the knee in this way. I want to press that knee to the outside, almost gripping the carpet or the mat with the outside edge of my foot. Okay? When I turn for the block, again, it's the same position as we talked about a minute ago. Crossing the hands and blocking this way. Okay? Since we're here, correct punching. Okay, I don't punch from the hip. It's not swinging up this way. It's actually, it comes up to the ribs and then drives in. So it's up and out. So coming up, 1, 2. Coming in that way. So low block, punch. And make sure it is a solar plex punch. This is a middle punch on Taegyuk Jahn. The next new block that we have in Taegyuk Jahn is the middle of the form, is the inner middle block. Okay? So for the inner middle block, we don't bring the hand way up behind us. From here to here is wasted time. It doesn't add any power to reach all the way behind. If I reach directly to my side, 90-degree angle, right by my right ear, my elbow is at a 90-degree angle, and I circle this in and bring it across this way. So first thing you need to learn how to do is the coordination of how this block is done. Okay? And just practicing 20 to 50 reps, depending on what you need, just to figure out the hand motion. Maybe that's what you need to do to start off. If you're not a beginner, you got the block down, great. So on a inner middle block, a single inner middle block has 3 hip actions. Okay, 1 on the chamber, I turn my hips. So I'll go this way. So I'm going to turn my hips to the right. As I swing this in, that's my second hip action. My third hip action happens when I square my shoulders and I bring my hips back. So it's 1, 2, 3. and you have that wiggle with your belt knot. Block comes across the center, right across the sternum, just maybe an inch past the sternum. But I want to swing this, again, straight from the side, circling in. I don't want a straight line from here to here. It's not a straight line. It circles around, bringing it in a circle. Now, the inner middle block works front hand or backhand. For definitions goes, we actually just define it as obverse or reverse. Same side of the dominant bent knee is obverse. So this is an obverse inner middle block. Opposite of the dominant bent knee is a reverse inner middle block. Okay? We don't always say front hand, backhand, because back stance, the weight distribution is opposite. The dominant knee is the back leg, not the front leg. So this is a reverse inner middle block. This is an obverse inner middle block. It gets confusing. Same side of the dominant bent knee is obverse. So that's how we define our blocks in our school. I know it gets a little confusing for some people, but that's how we've been doing it for the last 30 years, and I don't really see us changing anytime soon. So on Il-Jahn, it's a reverse inner middle block. I'm sorry, it's actually out of walking stance. It's a reverse inner middle block out of walking stance. Okay, so hand comes up, you have your 3 hip actions, stepping in, and then you step in and single punch. Turning the other way, we lift the hands up, coming across, inner middle block, extend the hand, and punch. The only other new block that's in Taegyuk Il-Jahn is the high block. Again, that is out of walking stance. It is the same chamber as low block. Right hand is palm out, left hand is palm in. Again, I'm coming, same action. This hand is doing like that reverse elbow strike behind me, shooting the hand straight up this way. One, I want to make sure my knuckles are over my ear. I don't want my knuckles over my nose because that leaves the whole half of my head exposed. I want the outer forearm bone pointed up at a 45 angle this way. I don't want this flat down this way. The muscles don't line up. I need to turn that pinky knuckle up, aligning that outer forearm here. This should be at a nice, about a 40-45 degree angle coming up this way like the roof of the house. Where something hits, the power sheds off the outside of it. I don't want it flat, or I don't want it resting on my forehead where someone hits and it just goes right into my skull. So I want to press that up. Shooting, again, oh yeah, one detail on this. High block shoulders are square. So I turn the hips. My hips and my shoulders are completely forward facing. Okay? High block doesn't work when the shoulder's out this way. And high block doesn't work when it's reverse. The structure doesn't line up. Okay, so I need to press that knee. I'm sorry, this is walking stance. I don't need to press the knee. So when I turn that up, I'm coming here. Okay, nice strong high block. Turn those hips and bring those hips and shoulders lined up. Okay, so those are the 3 new blocks for Taegyuk Il-Jahn. So what I'd like you guys to do is take some time and study those and play with it a little bit. Again, hitting things. One of these days I'm going to have a video on how we do our blocks and actually demonstrate with resistance and have a partner, so you guys can see how we test our blocks in a couple different ways. So, but for right now, that's enough for Taegyuk Il-Jahn. Hope that helps. The Taegyuk forms are about attacks. They're teaching you basic body movement, and they're teaching you attacks. One blow is sufficient for victory. That's what this is designed with. With the structure and alignment, when I turn, if somebody's trying to throw a kick at me and I turn, the very first movement of Taegyuk Il-Jahn, I'm trying to break his leg. So if you want to practice either hitting a makawari or hitting a heavy bag or another target, do it out of a forward-facing position and then rotate everything through and land that block when the foot hits the mat. Time it so everything hits together, and you're going to find a lot more power than even just doing the same motion walking forwards. But with that turn, you get that extra hip rotation and driving through. This is designed to break someone's ankle if you block a front kick with it. I break your ankle, fight's over, I go home.
Hey, thank you guys for watching this video. Appreciate it. If it helped, please hit that like and subscribe button. We are going to be going through the entire Taegyuk series. It's going to take me a little bit of time to put it together, but we'll be going through this entire series. So until next time, God bless and keep on kicking.